go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with me.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony, and today we are in the new 2020 Chevy Suburban, courtesy of Turner Chevrolet in Harrisburg, PA. And so if you have a larger family, the Suburban I am in right now does seat 8. It is some of the most cargo space that you have ever seen in a 3-row SUV out there right now. So what do you say? Let's just jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so there will be 3 different trim levels available for the 2020 Suburban. First one being the LS, actually the one we have today, starting at $52,095. LT will start at $57,095. And lastly, the Premier, which will start at $66,795. By the way, that was pricing for the rear-wheel drive setup. If you wanted 4-wheel drive, simply add $3,000 to any of those prices. But so then when it comes to the power plant, there is one standard engine setup for the Suburban, one optional setup specifically for the Premier. Standard engine setup across the board is going to be a 5.3 liter Ecotec 3 V8, putting out 355 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, 383 pound-feet of torque, available at 4,100 RPM. Power again is going to be sent to rear wheels or all wheels through the 4-wheel drive system through a 6-speed automatic, giving you MPG numbers 15 city, 22 highway for the rear wheel drive, 14 city, 21 highway if you wanted to go with the 4-wheel drive setup. But that optional engine setup that I was mentioning, that one is going to be only available for the Premier trim level, and that is going to bump the price up to $72,220. But that one is going to put out 420 horsepower, 5,600 RPM, 460 pound-feet of torque, available at 4,100 RPM, sent to all 4 wheels, 4-wheel drive setup only with that engine setup, through a 10-speed automatic, one of the major differences between the two setups there. At 0 to 60 time, approximately 5.7 seconds, with MPG numbers 14 in the city, 20 on the highway. But so now, having said that, let's do the acceleration test. Wow. All right, 5.3 liter definitely pulls hard. I don't know why I'm surprised. It's a V8, although this is a heavier SUV, it's still a V8, so plenty of get up and go for merging onto the highway there. To go along with that, when it comes to braking, 4-wheel disc brakes as expected. Testing out the braking feel actually feels fine. I will say the braking feel is a little squishy at lower speeds, but to bring it to a quick stop, definitely no issues there. Very impressed with the braking. Then touching on suspension and handling a little bit, premium smooth ride suspension will come standard with the LS that we have today, along with the LT. And you will get a Magna Ride suspension if you went with the Premier trim level, and that essentially is going to monitor each shock absorber individually, giving you the best of both worlds, monitoring the road condition, giving you a smoother ride, also tightening up the suspension around heavy cornering, giving you a little more control around the bends as well, so that's always a good thing. Limited slip rear differential is also going to come standard on all trim levels. And so the way that works is if the Suburban detects the wheel speed is a little bit different when it comes to those rear wheels, it kind of locks the rear wheels in place, turning them in unison, giving you a little better traction there. But when it comes to ride quality, I've had no issues. This is definitely going to be a very nice vehicle for long road trips. That's really what it's made for, with all the cargo space available in this one. I'll get to that a little bit later. So very nice ride quality. Steering feel is as expected. The steering grips, I should say, are a little on the wimpier side, I guess you could say, but usually you do find that in SUVs. Wouldn't have minded a little bit thicker of the grips when it comes to that, but steering feel is as expected. Cabin noise is very quiet. Not a whole lot of wind noise at all coming into the cabin, so very impressed there. And when it comes to visibility, I can see pretty good out the back. I will say one of the benefits to rear visibility in the Suburban, because this is a larger SUV, those 3rd-row headrests do sink down into the 3rd-row seats there. So therefore, if you did not have any passengers in that 3rd row, that is definitely going to help out with visibility. So another benefit to visibility with the Suburban is there is a head-up display available. It doesn't come standard, but it is available. It's going to, of course, help keep your eyes on the road a little better, because it's going to project your speed as well as the speed limit of any given road onto your windshield, so that's a plus as well. But the Suburban, of course, does have such a timeless design. It has looked good for quite a while now, still does, and of course it has the cool factor because you look like you're in the FBI, because this is, you know, what the FBI uses. But having said that, let's jump into the exterior and let's take a look at the exterior of this 2020 Chevy Suburban. And so to start, that front grille will differ slightly depending upon the trim level. The LS and LT, it is going to look the same. It has more of a black front grille. If you went with the Premier, you will find chrome horizontal bars, and if you went with the 6.2 liter engine setup for that Premier, you're going to get black horizontal bars because, of course, with the 6.2 liter being a sportier engine setup, you do have to have a sportier appearance, of course, to go along with that. To the sides, halogen headlights will come standard with the LS and LT trim levels. They will also come with the automatic feature, as well as the LED daytime running lights. If you went with the Premier, however, you will get HID headlights and fog lights actually just below as well with that setup. And make your way to the side, roof rails will come standard across the board along with rear privacy glass. Suburban lettering can be found within the front driver and passenger side doors. That is definitely a Chevy thing. Definitely gives it an elegant look up there, so I am a fan. When it comes to the side mirrors, they are power adjustable body colored heated side mirrors for every single trim level. Premier is going to add integrated turn signals as well. They take a look down at the wheel setup. 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels will come with the LS and LT trim levels. However, if you went with the Premier, you will find 20-inch alloy wheels, and of course there's a few different optional wheel setups available as well. One more thing on the side, I did want to mention black assist steps. That is also going to come with every single trim level. The Suburban does sit a little bit higher up than a lot of other 3-row SUVs, so they're definitely helpful for getting in and out of this one. But make your way to the back. Rear spoiler with an integrated brake light will come standard. Just underneath of that rear spoiler being the rear window wiper. That's one of the unique things to the Suburban and Tahoe. Usually that rear window wiper is plastered against the rear window. This one, it is tucked up underneath. Definitely a more clean, streamlined design. I'm definitely a fan of that. And just below it all, a single exhaust outlet, so you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. So, but now since we are around back to open that rear lift gate, there actually is a button on the key fob that I have today. That is going to simply, though, unlock it for the LS trim level. It is a manual lift gate for the LS. Going to get a power lift gate for the LT and hands-free for the Premier. But once opened up, cargo capacity behind that third row is going to come in at a whopping 39.3 cubic feet. That is a ton. Also wanted to mention behind that third row, you do have grocery hooks back there as well as a 12-volt power outlet. And also underfloor storage, underfloor cargo storage, and a good bit of it at that. I guess that makes sense. There is a good bit of space back there, but was very pleasantly surprised to see underfloor storage back there as well, so that's definitely nice. But then folding down that third row, that's going to bump it up to 76.7 cubic feet, and with all rows folded, 121.7 cubic feet. That is a ton. And by the way, there's a power folding third row if you went with the Premier, but still 121.7. That is actually enough for me to sleep back there if I wanted to, and I'm an even 6 feet tall. That is a ton of space back there. Definitely more than enough really for just about anybody. But make your way up to the rear legroom. Third row is going to come in at 34.5 inches, and to my surprise, I was actually kind of comfortable. I'm usually not in third rows, but I was actually able to fit, again, 6 feet tall. Then make your way up to the second row, 39.7 inches, again, 6 feet tall, plenty of space for me back there. Did also want to mention tri-zone climate control comes standard, so those rear passengers in that second row could set the temperatures for the back if they wanted to. And when it comes to the air vents, they are going to be located on the roof, so all 3 rows will definitely stay comfortable because of that. But heated rear seats are actually going to come with the Premier trim level as well, and again, some more power outlets for their second row passengers. Then make your way to the front seats on this one. Cloth seating will come standard on the LS. That, of course, is what you're looking at right now. Leather seating is going to come with the LT trim level and Premier. And with those 2 trims, you will find power driver and passenger seats. Even with the LS, though, you do have a power driver seat. That's what we got today there. But with the LT and Premier, you're also going to find heated front seats, and the Premier is actually going to add ventilated front seats as well up there. But make your way to the steering wheel. This is an interesting one for me. With the LS trim level that we have today, it is tilt. There is no telescoping steering wheel. That is going to be added with the LT and Premier trim level, of course. But even with that, just tilt steering wheel, I still was able to get comfortable in the driver's seat here, so no issues for me there. But heated steering wheel is going to come with the Premier as well if you needed it. But making our way to the startup, let me first start by showing you guys the key here. You do have your Chevy logo on the one side, and when you flip it over, lock, unlock, and actually a remote start It's going to come standard for every single trim level across the board. So we do have that as well, even with the LS trim level. That's definitely nice. Keyless access with the push button start is going to come with the Premier, but again, we don't have that today. So all I'm going to do is simply put my foot on the brake and go ahead and turn the key. And so, but then once started up, tachometers on your left, speedometers on your right. There is a small digital display front and center. To control what is on that digital display, simply use the steering wheel mounted controls on the right side there. That is going to give you a ton of different things like a digital speedometer, trip A, trip B, how many miles you have left until you hit empty. There's an oil life indicator letting you know when you need your next oil change, tire pressure monitoring system, and a couple different other things as well. Then make your way to overall interior quality. An overhead sunglass holder will come standard, but just in front of that overhead sunglass holder, there is that school bus style rear mirror so you could spy on the kids in the back. I always like that, I don't know why, but power sunroof is going to be optional on the LT trim level in Premier, therefore we do not have that one today. Wireless phone charger is going to come with the Premier trim level, and of course you have plenty of hookups just in front of the cup holders there. You have 2 USB ports along with a 12-volt power outlet and some storage. Then of course you have the cup holders, and then just behind that, the center armrest is massive, has a nice little place to store your cell phone there in the top. But once opened up, there are some more cubbies there if you wanted to store some stuff, along with 2 more USB outlets, 12-volt power outlet once again, and probably one of the most massive cargo areas within that center armrest as well. So definitely quite nice. And of course, driver and passenger can set their own temperatures up here as well. But now let's make our way to the tech display. 8-inch color touchscreen display will come standard every single trim level, and that is going to give you Bluetooth and audio streaming, as well as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay for every trim level again. And this is important in an SUV like the Suburban. A lot of people will be taking this on road trips. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay essentially means if you have a smartphone, you can hook it up to the Suburban and have free navigation for assistance on your road trip. So that's definitely a plus as well. If you wanted factory navigation system, although you don't really need it these days, you can get that with the Premier trim level. And of course, you can check out your radio settings up there as well, giving you 6 speakers for the LS trim level, 9-speaker Bose sound system for the LT, and a 10-speaker Bose surround sound system for the Premier. And so you guys know which one we have then, therefore we have the 6-speaker sound system. So let's go ahead, turn on the radio, see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Actually, impressive amount of bass for a 6-speaker sound system. Very impressed. Of course, you're not going to have the perfect clarity with the 10-speaker sound system with the Bose sound system, but the bass is very impressive for the 6-speaker. Definitely no issues there for me. But then, of course, last thing on the tech display I wanted to mention is when you do put the Suburban in reverse, you will find a rear view camera letting you know who or what is behind you, which is always going to lead me into safety. And so to start, there are front side and side curtain airbags. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. Also rear child door locks back there. There's also something called teen driver mode that comes with all Chevy vehicles. But that essentially is going to prevent your teen driver from turning off the safety features, doing a couple burnouts or whatever. And if they were to turn off those safety features, that is actually logged in the system, so therefore you can then see that and then punish them afterwards if you like. But Premier trim level is going to add lane change alert with side blind zone alert. LT and Premier trim levels are going to add lane keep assist with lane departure warning, low speed forward automatic braking, and forward collision alert. And lastly, the Premier is going to add some more, being an auto dimming rear view mirror, rear cross traffic alert, and front and rear park assist. And so, but anyways, that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay go!